Okay, disclaimer for this video. This is basically me telling the coming out story of me when I was in 7th grade and me knowing that I was gay in 7th grade. But what I want to say before I get into that is that sexuality itself is a spectrum and it's very flexible, I feel like, especially for me, because it's like some days I'd be like, oh my God, I love girls so much. I love girls. And then some days I'm like, I want a boy. And a lot of my friends have experienced this change as of late because I recently went through a boy phase and it's just sexuality, it just flip-flops and labeling things. I feel like I'm not one of those girls who are like, I don't want to label myself and blah blah blah, because I mean, as society we need a label so we can define it, and it's just easier for people to know what it is. And so basically I'd call, like, I on percentage wise I'd say that I'm like 70% gay and like 30% straight, but and like I can't call that like, and being bisexual, I don't want to label myself bisexual because for some people it's strictly 50-50 and some people it's 70-30, but I don't want to label myself something different. I just want to call myself either gay as a like majority or queer. I personally prefer calling myself queer because that basically means that it's anyone who just isn't straight, who isn't binary, who's just different from heterosexualism. And so that's that little disclaimer, and then here's my coming out video. Hello there, people of Earth. Long time no see. Oh, that sun. Sorry this video is so skinny. I lost the charger to my video camera, so I'm just gonna be doing videos on my phone until further notice, until I get money to buy a new charger. Anyway, for this video, I'm going to be telling, somebody posted on my Ask FM, it was like, post when you find out that you weren't interested in boys, like how I told my parents, and then people's reactions to it. And so basically when I found out I wasn't interested in boys was when I realized how beautiful girls were. And that was in 7th grade. I was in 7th grade. And it was kind of just like, I had switched schools in I switched from a different school in 6th grade. So I was 6th grade, I was at Denny Middle School. And then in 7th grade, I was in Madison. And, like, to be honest, people were just a lot more attractive at Madison Middle School. And so I guess that's kind of what it was, where I just didn't realize that I had an appeal for boys, and that there were just, like, a couple of girls that were, like, exceptionally beautiful. And I noticed, and I was just like, hey, little mama, why don't you, come over here? I think you're, caliente. Yeah. And I don't know, it was just something that I kind of just realized about myself, and I kind of just like jumped into it, you know. It was kind of like, oh, girls, let's go. And so what I did is I kind of just like looked up all of the gay things that you could have possibly imagined. I looked up the L Word and gay movies, and I just watched all of it, and I like looked at all these gay sites that I was way too young for. It was like 18 and older now, like, and I couldn't make an account because you needed like a credit card or something, and I was like 12 years old, like, god damn it, I just want to be gay and blah 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 blah, whatever. And so yeah, that's basically it. I mean, it was just a point where I just like saw a girl and I was just like, I want top. And yeah, God bless for your face. It was just kind of that kind of moment, and I wasn't scared. I guess my coming out story isn't very eventful because I just kind of accepted myself, and I was like, this is a new fun fact, like, hey. And then I just jumped in. And my parents' reactions, it was actually kind of awkward because I had realized this about myself, and I told my friend about it, and had been texting about it, and I had like this really cheap, dinky little phone, and my mom took it away at night, so I wasn't like up all night texting my friends, but I only had like 2 friends, so I wouldn't have been really up all night. And I was texting my friend, and I like told her, I was like, I'm gay, and she was like, oh, that's cool. And she started asking me all these questions like, wait, like, don't like lesbians like bind and stuff like that, like, are you gonna do that, and blah 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 blah. And I was like, I don't really know what that means, and I think that means, like, you know, compressing your chest, and I was like, no, I kind of like my boobs, so no, I don't want to do that. And then and like we kind of like laughed it off, and then I gave my phone to my mom, forgetting to delete the texts. And then a couple hours later, my mom, like, I was like going to sleep, and my mom busts into my room. She goes, Chanel, what is this? And she like shows me my phone, and I go, Mom, what? What are you like? I'm half asleep, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. What? And she goes, this, like, you're what? And I go, I'm like sitting in my bed, and I like couldn't speak. I was like choking on air, and I was like, I like girls, question mark. I don't know. Girls are real. I don't, what? No, no, yeah, yeah, yes, I like girls. And then my mom kind of stared at me, and then she just threw my phone on the bed and just walked out. And I was like, oh God, I'm gonna get kicked out. Mom's gonna disown me. I'm gonna have to start going to church, and I don't know what to do with my life anymore. And I was panicking and I was freaking out, but I didn't really need to. It was just kind of like my mom was so shocked with the fact that, because, like, I mean, nothing really in my childhood had led on to it, except like I didn't really like the color pink, except for like when I was like 3, when I went through a phase, and I was like, Mom, paint my room pink. And wait, yeah, I could talk when I was 3, so yeah. And then she did, and then I hated it the week afterwards, and almost made her change it. And like I was kind of a tomboy, but like I would prefer to wear pants and not a dress. I mean, just like normal things for normal girls, you know, like not all of us wanted to wear a dress. Hello, gender stereotypes. Thanks for that. And like my mom made me wear a dress up until I was 10 to like every Christmas dinner. And I was like, Mom, it's my birthday. I don't want to have to wear a stupid dress. And then she'd make me, and it's annoying. And so like nothing really gave her that, you know, like you can't really guess with your kid. And so I guess it was just so shocking for her. And it took her a couple of weeks to get used to the fact, because if you assume something about somebody for, like, especially your own child, for all of these years, like for my mom it was like 12, 13 years, and so obviously it would have been kind of hard for any parent, I think, to come to terms with that fact about their kid, that their kid now is gay, likes girls. And so I think it's just that initial shock. Like, my mom's not homophobic or anything. Like, she's not like crazy religious and like told me to go to hell or whatever. That was just like my little gay brain like freaking out. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna get disowned. I'm gonna have to do all this other stuff and blah 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 blah. But for real, like, her reaction to it was I think it was a very predictable reaction. I was just freaking out about it because I had read all these other stories on the internet, because the internet's a crazy place. And so I was freaking out about it, I think more so than my mom was. But, like, that was in 7th grade, and now my mom's completely fine with it. Like, I was just thinking about, like, when I was telling her about, like, each of my girlfriends. Anyway. And, and anyway, the third question for my Ask a Femme was, like, people's reactions to it. I've never gotten a bad reaction. I mean, for somebody to come out to somebody else, I feel like nowadays, because kids are so hip with the whole gay thing, I think everybody's just fine with it. I mean, I like at Forest Ridge when I came there and I told everybody that I was gay. I mean, I'm 100% sure that that some of those girls had never met a gay person before, and so coming in there thinking that like everybody knows about gay people and blah 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 is kind of different to see that reaction. It wasn't necessarily bad, but like they just kind of like, oh, okay. And then like throughout the years that I've been at Forest Ridge, was like what, 2, like not that much, but like there's have been instances where I have to explain different things that they wouldn't know, and which I don't really care, you know. I mean, I'm glad to educate people, but not many needed educating. It was just a couple girls who didn't really know what was what, you know, what are the stereotypes, you know, and that's basically it. I don't know how to end my videos, and so I will come up with something for that. Grace ends her videos with, I don't know, and I'm not going to copy that because I can't compete with Grace Helbig. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say bow down bow down.